This is Boadu TV. Truth and integrity.
Abusia mamu nyina kwa bamfa mbra Boadu TV so best for first time na wa subscribe ye. Ye nyina like ni yen comment entum. Now Yaa Titi ene Ivan Kyei afaya da fa Chief Justice aya pamono na ho nsem bebre. Sophia Akufo former Chief Justice abekasa da fa ho nsem de course no. One pe wohwe instance o made yi Torkorno efi dwane so a enye kura. Yaa Titi say kwanotum kan wanutum Mami Sophia yebu pa ka wanotum. Nyasa ensema obetiti bi fi Ghana for one hwa wonpe. Yewura kwama minta Akando. Nurses na omu kaseti ana panacho. Na Yaa Titi say sa nurses ene sa omu secretary no.
Outcome by metana wa video so catch us eventually sa na beba. Because na utieti ensem na a war petition no ma.
Yeah.
It got to a point na there was this deliberate attempt to sway the general public from the actual issues, no? Now you're dabbling in trivialities. You're saying procedural infractions. You're teaching me human rights. So, but the key underpinning issues are Nipano afa pen paper actual at the competition, you know.
Yeah.
You lose focus on. And I felt we go through petition, man, there was no way yembambe through her when you are focusing on the substance. Because petition na yetre. Let me make it clear, say a muba kope and a Chief Justice free ho.
Yeah.
Mienu na Akando has been suspended because nipa na omo the petition no call and say omo twan so kakra mo omo. And the petition 3 na e call ye no e muba kope. I am Mr. Daniel Ofori the petition. He stated more than 21 cases of misbehavior and 4 cases of incompetence. And to Kaboma, one and bear 25 different allegations. Bear 21 plus 4 will be 26 25
yeah.
Specific allegations and on the board Chief Justice. So now I was suspecting that Chief Justice best spending much time now we're dealing with some of the issues rather than dabbling in this trivialities. Yeah, yes, I have listened to a lot of conversations. I so after Sanyama way you see, but as at now, Minyanti Obia, what me pontificate at some constitutional infractions, irregularities, yeah, circumventing medias, nobody, including lawyers and your friends, Mammy, I walk on Sophia Akufo. All that you are preaching, moral him and no more to president no but we are forgetting about the fact that the judiciary is one of the most sensitive organ your friend saying your constitution and people who are sent there no must discharge their responsibility with integrity, with fairness, with neutrality, with impartiality, and with some way be and let me also say there is no single position under any constitutional rule anywhere in the world that will enjoy absolute power because constitutional framers even in the US envisage the possibility of nipa na yedene and nipa no can engage do the excesses about impugning the integrity. It's the reason why every constitution creating windows in an event because position na yede kon anye nyankopon na better na nipa and nipa is liable for a lot of things. So the constitutional framers created a window yeti anye ye ne yakofo obi ba na odi nsem na and there is no constitution that is going to be written even in the future. That particular clause because even the president didn't say Parliament has been given power to take the president out. So those of you saying at the tightening constitution in the future, no, are you also admonishing say the future people will be responsible because say nipano banner or behave in a reckless fashion? Now why ironclad in the position now? You are indemnifying the person to do nasty stuff. You understand? So instead of cautioning and as making sure say you build the firewall around the position Chief Justice, why don't we build a firewall around the individual's attitude and behavior? Say whoever comes will come with a refined behavior attitude and could trigger this whole thing. So we have a near my course petition papa na de call President Mahama Makacha says it's just a conveying belt. That particular petition and or the Council of State as the Constitution stipulates. Council of State Makacha says has never been an adjudicatory body. Ya kote na how could dia sem. More the say Constitution is your Constitution the Constitution says that the President will refer the petition to the Council of State. Council of State, there is no law be a what Ghana I laid down procedures what the Council of State must do or the processes and everything that they need to go through. All that they need to do is review the petition and see premier facie a woman has to establish the substance. The processes involved over the years. Obian who yen laid down procedures and I am for certain constitutional instruments. Now yen regularize that particular provision into say a casa president and forward the petition come a Council of State. These are the step-by-step process that the Council of State need to go through. Say there is none. Sophia Akufo Ivan Kyei, she was a Chief Justice. She saw that particular provision that she had opportunity to ensure say you regularize that particular provision because you can say young time petition from Council of State. At the end of Council of State, for Council of State, they are not judges, they are not lawyers. In as much as we have former we will it's not a legal entity. So all that they will do per why I said in the Constitution laid down 3 areas. And that's 3 grounds of it. Chief Justice misbehavior, incompetence, and 1. The last one here, infirmity, both body and mind. These are threatened. And so when they come aboard and they say on assess here, they are going to assess the competence of the petition in the face of these 3 grounds. Beyond that, because it is not a legal body. So when the Chief Justice started making noise, they say, and a premier facie ruling, ruling bang. Because that particular committee, that particular Council of State, it is not an adjudicatory body. I ruling the amount copy na kind again. I sat here, I told you at that stage, and this is because that particular process, and your adversarial process, you advances some adverse finding be against you. Now, you assessing the competence of the petition to know, say, within the threshold of the Constitution, if it's passing that stage, then a proper adjudicatory process will be set in place, and that is what the President did. So that is why I told you, say, argument and the Chief Justice making it didn't make sense. None of them make sense. But now I went through the way CV you could see, say, I understand why she was making those weird arguments. And then I said, for them, I wasn't surprised because you see, so we had an interpretation or the two so funny and very mind-boggling because. So, Council of State here in Juma, then they refer back to the President. Then if you go to the Constitution, Article 146, I think that it's 10A or 10 something. Is there? 146 downwards now. And what say? Council of State kase petition or grounds President wa kwenya. Say oba set up a committee. I'm a committee, I investigate. It's we can call it quasi judicial or semi-judicial process. Including 2 Supreme Court judges and other people. They are all 5. Constitution expressly says the President to sign a warrant suspending the Chief Justice pending that particular process. So it wasn't that Muhammad Dasori also suspend the Chief Justice. A constitutional, discretionary constitutional way, President only, and only he could exercise that. He decided, and Mahama isn't the first person to sign that particular warrant. Makacho said, in the case Justice Derry and 4 others, when Anas accused them and the process was ongoing, when Premier Facia was established in their case, President Akufo Ivan signed a warrant and suspended these 4 justices pending investigation. And that's exactly what Muhammad did. So yeah, investigation that's a woody for her. Then the Constitution will make that the committee will make the recommendation and the President will follow suit. And don't forget, the President is binded by the Constitution, by the committee's recommendation. That is what the Constitution says. So me beside me who say in all this process a man for a year the day na day no ehefa and President Mahama circumvent any of the laid down procedures. I bet you can say oh or can so be in the way in the first place my culture said no precedent under our current constitutional arrangement and the vote to me to dismiss or sack any chief justice. You don't have it. But his power of removal only becomes active when an aggrieved Ghanaian send a petition to him. Say on removal will be not a grounds near legitimate. The president has a sworn duty to follow through. And yes, you pick and choose. Open as a man as open. The president is mandated. Why yes, it could be a grounds for him to be removed. And our issues near go to nearby bedroom. And I zoom it down to the petition. I can't want them. So what's here in summer a woman specific allegations. Now one has to do with this padium thing. You see, my culture say the chief justice is not just a chief justice or Supreme Court. You are also the administrative head of the entire judiciary of this country. Integrity, honesty is something that you cannot toy with it. Then the judicial service. Asamna e kosra ya manfo free say Mahama ba na omako within sembi no modo so amane da binya sanete all the time ye kasa wafa sika no e ya asama asi I think somewhere 2023 na aya Ghana audit service Ghana audit service ekohoko audit ye and they find these things and they flag it as irregularities. So it is not Daniel Ofori no only chance on that particular thing and included it in his petition. But the chief justice had already been found to have misconducted herself in this manner in the audit report. Audit report now, in the audit report, she was found say were misconducting in the usage of that particular money because the constitution says so or private travel state in betua because we are chief justice. Yen to mean jail say your private nti kwanenam. Enti the old could be betua ma. Nambom enam say we are chief justice nti no are still what access to the corridors of power nti no. So wonkwa wonam abonte wa America na so obi kwache osisia na say wonkwa okomiemia wa wanhwe ya ye secret ya wo ubeda na di akire obi. And in the wisdom of Yamran yesterday, ya kwa for security di wachi sebe ya wo endanger the national security and I say security be na se for na obi nko for so ma nko sign document bi ba because won kwa na wonam enti for security. You see amanfo interpreted this thing a track but it's what it means because in our law no yenya de bia just for fun and your chief justice say no ho afenti na na soja ni wachi no and yet because of this because we are chief justice obetimi akọ so ma ko sign just a whole lot of niema obetimi aye na one for so kwa no omumiemia okon na say Ghana security ukokeka say be higher
yeah national security
exactly so mo shemra ne say o kwa for security di wachi na woni ne nko on na ni ati chain nipa bia and security na mede na economy na betena ncha na mede meba muma akọ. Common sense should tell you say this way is unacceptable coming from somebody who is supposed to discharge integrity at the uttermost level. The chief justice of this country. You may sit somewhere and say oh wait there but beneath it within you it tells you the kind of person you are. And security no try ncha na ode na ba. Never not Nico US no anya just take it keke no automan no take it na man for top business class akese no then that take it was upgraded minim so kwatena play no I win no so dia minim and answer the pilot no no kwatena pilot akonwa so because she paid over 1 billion in take it and on the co US 1 billion. How many young ladies say me bana me nam krom na me hu enkra mayo mo so pia water akra hye na chia na me wura ho. But because Obi, na mama chief justice intino, take it na ya ta man ya say upgrade enti e bia alupre no wins no na kwatena so bia upgrade ya be free pray no kwatena o him and I never parachute na ya business class I upgrade there say o kwatena pray
na
papa na obi ahu say na member no chief justice daughter. And your boss akawe. Okoye no na osantua per diem every day. Exactly. You don't do this. Common sense should tell you say we is not in line with even principles of your father. Nema yede adwuma. But she breached these things. Anya ba kope. There no samba biem no oko Tanzania. And no so security no police ni bi obi ohia ni ba bi asabi nko obedi wachi anka ono so benya dollar na kakra ti na chi no and ono so tam si nchen na wotam kunu de sim and at the same entitlements na wotam de man no. And if a chief justice can do some of these things in security, do you know the obetimi aye? Yeah. And can you trust this person to be dispensing justice? These are some of the things man for the emotions I can say hunu. These are the key issues, and there are other issues. I mean, I don't want to even tackle it. You say, "Oh, award judicial service now, award contract." Common sense will tell you some of these things. You don't do it anywhere. And chair and Yaa Titi Akufo Ivan form about this family and friends conflict of interest. You don't do these things, and these are some of the things that she did. Sophia Akufo is aware, and you see, these people are hypocrites. And you know what? Obia oye worried about Torkorno will go through the process constitutional problem because she couldn't pontificate at a single constitutional infraction occasion. I will go through a constitutional process. Yeah, you know, not seeing the buofu or you're worried about. Not on your worried about President Akufo Addo or Tamobia or your MPP ni. Our contest our whole central. What fairly now your time not na Supreme Court. We are mamboy for. You know that when the judiciary became so dirty in this country, and some of us were all over talking about it, post be on team and said that we were losing the judiciary. It became so dirty to the sense that people didn't want to associate. Social media and other platforms are enough ruling every Supreme Court bar ordinary person to know to say answer any ruling and cry and my answer for over nipa when you know about the platform and a woman that particular ruling. Because how do you tell me say traveling passport can vindicate and as a bit a Ghana ni, but the innate birth certificate cannot. When the event said passport no birth certificate and several other rulings. As some local court you can predict ma no said date ma asem no twam asem bi kwa de chi ya no wa date. When you do some of these things, you don't inspire confidence, you don't engender trust and hope in the institution. And the nearman all you now was to destroy the fabrics of our judiciary. So for Akufo, I think that some of these people, we just need to excuse them, and you can understand her. Then as a forum, until so betting about boss, any or she's entitled to her opinion. And as a forum, I respect her for expressing her opinion. Yeah, again. So what case in yeah, say just question issue no. But better I can't petition no. Omote court way dear Samad, Omo national security for Boadu. Now you're two computer, you're two way, judge to hold the assembly. You're more be an answer, you're 222. Omutu 2 year na Mrantia no moto na yasan tam omodo omko national security ko miamia omo menim de omo de say Ghana head okọ national security oni de ye wo say omo tempered evidence ne na sefo no and sa nkrofo we wo mo kokotena afie ema ya set up a committee by the judicial council atena asehwe hu say adwuma amudi di nkrofo omu ni for enti munja amo no omra back omo ba ya na ma me transfer no to Tamale ofa we ya na transfer no to her for Christ's sake judicial ma me ajapade na enyo papa ajapade na what how dey this ansem hunu no these people na committee na exonerate omo no you should even apologize to them for mistreating them. So as a boss of an institution, you know, you cannot be doing some of these things. And these are the realities. I'm far with fear. What do you say? These are some of the things she did on personal level. No? So if a chief justice can be behaving in this highly reprehensible manner, can you trust that person to head the judiciary? And the funny aspect, you see, some of the professors in this country, you see, sometimes I am Mumiomano, Casano ya Dawson. You see, Metese will be say, Unikeke as a chief justice. Now, wait me, I'll go back to the bench. I'm crossing way, how can you? I am Mugumanumas and Winjas and Neman and I'm crying at you. Yes, yeah. So these are some of the things that or transfer amount for not what transfer way, no what transfer way, and the cases in Mijawa. I think that there are a lot of for the abono with me Akikan. So I was looking at a point somebody will wake up and say, oh, allegations no more raising a frivolous. Allegation no any substance. But my man spending the time, you know, even breaking the law the more. The last time I told you say petition way and go through on one casa occasion another grounds for her removal because so what kind of constitution you know? Okachiro say this whole process must be heard in camera. Meaning say and yes who offending I see and held in camera.
Yeah.
It's because of the sanctity of the institution, you know. Constitutional framework started twice, you're making sure, say, near my air cost because IGP anyway, some of the hearing, you know, was done in camera.
Yeah.
Because of how sensitive some of these things are, you know. And as some I see in TN camera, no. Chief Justice is angry because of free say John Muhammad NDC for a hound, you know. And we see some now all can or sometimes it's funny. Now what time petition and then cut and in TV. So your press conference are you emotionally intelligent? Can you trust that person to be your Chief Justice? Now say do you know what that person can do? And we see some of these signs, you know, show some level of intellectual weakness, how emotionally the person is unstable, and why you cannot trust such a person. Because this is a person who has demonstrated in an open court, an open banter between on it. Your friend said, so police in here or a lawyer, a cologo.
Yeah.
And that banter no, and say I'm not here. Sideline in Yanta, what for the police for someone channel? Because when I walk to me, and what's here, a man for no more court room where I never come with the body say, oh munipa. We see there are certain category of people they look down on people. As a men a macro school now there now we don't be so when as about public who so chin na no. Oh as a obi there ya aboa bi. Maka cho say ya say aboa na ntakra na man ya fan say. Kese. Wherever you are bia nipo mo twa ho ahia and ya wa hoden. You cannot look down on people, impugn people and things that you can rise. Na no me okay some now we be able to say we rise by lifting others. I never inspire me a lot. But our people don't see some of these things or get into a position. But now say, oh, he's the new God in town, so better than Obia. You don't do these things. Because Rollins here wish Esha for more. When you Ghana hop so it doesn't matter where you are. Ubeja position no hako. Remember the say even say 1 minute grant abenya be good, treat people well. Sabi obi ba kan ho asemi. But judicial service, no one can for Kwano could not even stand in for her because they wanted her out. And again, so when the behavior, the relationship between Ono and the other judges. This is a woman, all the assembly court, no. Or say, your friend is saying, justice for other people, and yet your friend is saying, and they cannot be fair. So the administrative head of the judiciary is saying, over the years, you know, only people they have the potency to be biased, and she knows they are biased. And now I said, I can be biased right now. Jadru so no or modest bias in the bedino. And then Sophia Akufo is saying, oh, the process is not fair. And I prefer we Chief Justice, no, not constitution and John and Rao. And I'm a boy, and I the free China and the buy the constitution has been there. You apply, and you Charlotte say, you demand coffee, you the lamte. Mahusa among for says a novelty, it's not a novelty. This particular process has been applied. You see, individuals no musishim no, and yet different. But the process has for long been used in this country. Among for free, so maybe some amena. Ordinary na fair no. Torkorno ba no. Na ona no ya crowd Supreme Court o. Na nim panim for Panamine na se for you know but two more bench. But she was handpicked by president to become a Chief Justice. So was it fair? No. So there's no argument of fair na yam kwara fair ben. Because constitution has been there. We are only applying it. So our lawyers today telling us we must jettison the constitution and begin to say so yamfa emotions and as yamfa nipa me pen assembly na for na na emra ono na kan say the law is the law. So me I don't have any issue and people who are saying say a bad president in the future so obi be Chief Justice not na no din semhuna samahama appoint obi so Chief Justice na oba na o sha say din semhuna afan for ba yenyinum yo no
onu kwa be kai semhuna me di mra wo
exactly. So those talking about president, you see, they are just jumping over the whole discussion. We should be looking at quality in the discharge of our duty. Now what's another year you might and when I say pamo. Now say Mahama by independent bodies, and you win kwana ho. Akua maso ye na adwuma. Ono o perceive o peba area ba ko a na asem wo ho pa na manfo free say Mahama bo be pam no na ye the auditor general. Ba ko mo ye na adwuma. Ye na adwuma. Mami animguasifo yo mugu electoral commission so mo yo moduma so it's not as if say obi tan obi anase obi ye we ade na edi wa diu nsam no wunya akwanya efra amanfo mo ko testify na so ni nyina amfa because you couldn't prove say why I walk private warrior yes for security do wachi you endanger national security china obi anchew and now for so obi am for so but nka two occasion obi for so wa nka be put everybody in Ghana in danger. That is the gravity of nsama yeka. And people ignorantly say someone say nsam no mo kan no ano nya den na nka on twese kan kotwa obi ti ansa on twese kan kotwa obi ti e wo ho ansa na yehu asem no. You see, we play too much in this country. So me, from where I sit, I have for long been worried about the sanctity of your judiciary. And over the years, you know, say your judiciary had the gatam. Kwanya ye faswa na ye sesa amamfo kogu so. Kwanya appointment na nyansa ni ma na ye. It got to a point that Ghana for any ahotoso e wo ye court mu. E saying amamfo ye solve I don't for ye bi. Menim some platform run bi and some other platform run bi. Now you see bastardization, insult, our mother he put on the most sensitive institution. Yeah. Judiciary was subjected to public mortification, ridicule. But yes, subject of public ridicule. Unanimous 3, unanimous 4. This is the judiciary. Yeah. Sophia Akufo, she wasn't worried about that. She wasn't worried about the fact that a failed parliamentary candidate was appointed to sit on the bench. She wasn't worried, say, among for the Asama court, say, Yam Freda, Afenoma Kendini, the following day. And portrayed by us, and judiciary no be a busia japadia, now but now by Din Semhunu. Samahama appointee will be Ochana. Now Obano obedin Semhuna. We will rise against the person and get the person out. And I'm against those who are saying say we should amend the constitution and make sure say it becomes impossible. Now say you konya obino ochono odin Semhuna. And the person will terrorize the entire nation. Exactly. So we need to make it flexible. To do the right thing. Exactly. And some year what petition 21 specific allegations of misbehavior. Menya da je kram ko through. Konsam na ewo mu no e bi airtime na se for no. Enti ababeduru haya, I think say President Mahama followed through the constitution, onyam breach any provision, and I challenge any lawyer out there to point to a single constitutional infraction I occasioned thus far the process was activated. I challenge any of them, apart from those singing the emotional hymns that can continue to sing. But if anybody, our legitimate grounds, I actually say President Mahama the process now activated that far no breaching any constitutional provision. They should come forward with it. And then it's not as if that Mahama fighting this whole process. Are you dissatisfied no? Court no or there are some cohort almost 3 occasions. Emma court na catch them Mahama agrona ye didn't know how. You are born in something you know to agu. Ama Justice Amadou your friend saying Tanko the ruling back na it was very interesting. Justice near worried about the fact to say omo anka so mu chief justice accuse you almost say they cannot be. One day I'll bring you the ruling. On why your worried say omo anka so mu chief justice accuse you almost say they cannot be fair. They are worried about the fact that omo anka so mu chief justice can't almost say a constitutional provision should be waived. Na ye ma adenko TV so because other way so we see law school them that you know say no court was not even the Supreme Court and a bit because it is an explicit constitutional provision locked in the constitution. You need to do a constitutional change and a review and so what to say no. And this is all the obedience court say yama adenoma TV so then her understanding of the law no is a bit twisted and I say emotions are taking a better part of it because a constitutional provision. For instance, Emrana say we are president of Ghana. President Mahama will be 2 terms. Meboa. Constitution is over 2 terms. So yeah, but that's why President Mahama atam court to say Supreme Court to say or no so 3rd term to Supreme Court. Emaning 3rd term. Is it possible? Can the Supreme Court vary a constitutional provision?
No.
When it is explicit, it's not an implicit something that you need to struggle to read to put interpretation. This is clear in the face of it. Osha say that. Can President Mahama go to Supreme Court and tell them say yen change it ten or no? Can you do that?
You can't.
So if a chief justice is saying say a constitutional provision should be varied, that's what I'm telling you. Say, her level of understanding so far as the law is concerned, no, it's a bit skewed and questionable. So I think that the drama now me odigu n'anim ase. because I said my last time I catch I say your friend say who's a Carmine nam station ya bona suma bono or tietia mo ko ni ma bia offer. And that is exactly what happened to her. Makacha said, "As some sinner person when you for just wait for a troubled day. How you conduct, compose, react to heavy circumstances, and they determine say indeed this person is smart, intelligent or not. As some see you be any nyansa, which you be able to one for a coat na so for that's that is when you'll be able to separate the men from women. What I say. So I think that Chief Justice in seven I acquire by the baby and baby no or no one casana braba boy. Because there be a bit too amount for unya position men ya wadwin say what forever. Cause so we nya what na ha for kwame nkoma and I say the picture cover office na be say oh he fine and the little that you can do it serve people right, make sure say when you man for many nyansa men front nipa kwan so na when I was sika dan ma kra nya na to bia na obi adi what I say. And me I don't respect people because of your position. I don't respect you because you are a minister. I don't respect you because you are president. I respect you for who you are as a person and how you treat people, your deed. Me, you can never force me to respect you because you're a minister and no, I don't do that. I respect you for who you because honorable. No, I'm for the honorable tea. And wouldn't baby you don't want food. Or your former Afarijan who know anything.
Yeah, it's all you're not food.
Oh, you're not for baby. What I say? These are titles. They are temporary. But who you are can never change. You understand?
Sure.
So, let us use the opportunity to tell people, say, wherever you are, treat people good, serve well, and make sure that you leave an indelible mark. The idea not on person to say, obey a chief justice, yapam no, by yapamo, entitlement, and not also who say, your friend is saying, on resign, and no, and that resign. So those of you saying, say, she can come back as a judge, you know, I'm saying, because somebody who has been flagged for misbehavior.
Yeah.
You see, Chief Justice, being a Chief Justice, and being a Supreme Court judge, you know, people should know so the most important factor being a Supreme Court judge first. Because you need that before you become
Chief Justice.
The Chief Justice is just an administrative role. It has nothing to do with law. What I say, I don't know if it is about behavior. Now, Obi, remember say CEO, wakotono wakwachi akra na oneneda. You see a Pamno as a CEO of a hospital, na Uncle Hospital Hands and Conquer Juma. So this is as simple as that. Even the president let the crown or Trump, she has been removed both as a justice of the Supreme Court and as a your friend saying Chief Justice. And for me, yes, she has the right to do whatever. Says in seminar or the still ECOWAS the Munyam Frey or Ken and several other cases. She can use all the legitimate constitutional avenues to seek redress if she thinks say and name but from me where I said I think say the law was followed to the letter.
Okay.
There hasn't been any attempt to be circumventing any law. There hasn't been any procedural errors on one and in her twisted imaginations and all building those buffers just to buy convenience. Have you seen any serious-minded person out there defending her? That's your advocacy group, your think tank, and apart from some people in the MPP who are guilty of doing the same thing. My friend saying, lady, your friend is saying, easy bossy, I do Okroma say. About this. Everybody is satisfied because for Ghana, the most important thing in this whole discussion is our judiciary. We don't care about any other individual. Now we are fine. We are concerned about saving the integrity, and I'm urging President Mahama to go ahead and prune the judiciary. Because you see, appointment Akufo Ivan from the High Court, and then as a forum to top, and yard ketwa. And now we are young to your income magistrate and lower court. Me say Mkwasi ruling a man 40 asia where no who will be a young best show ruling. So what's an answer now go through some of the lower court. Now we have ruling everywhere back. We young best show. I think that's a country, but I am crossing here for to know. Some of these cases travel to the Supreme Court. And Supreme Court about to go. Because Daniel Ofori unique issue. And started, I think, on a Stanbic Bank. Started here. About best, yes, a case that traveled about 17 years ago. Or the first until Sebedu Topper. So it tells you the bad job people are doing down there. Your court. o judge to ni butimi fo bi akoto obi kontobre o kodam 20 years na na se for no sansem hunu na man 40 down we need to sanitize the judiciary, and the President Mahama has a duty to do that. And you need somebody responsible at the top to do some of these things. And I think that say yentimi save institution bia na yetimi save your judiciary na, I'll be satisfied. Because justice is the most important thing that guarantee democracy anywhere in the world.
My cultural sister, in any employment environment, if you have a contract, you are working within the contract. Your dismissal hang on 2 sections. One is conduct and the second is gross misconduct. When you are deemed to have a false and falsified company's instruments in your favor in terms of the machinery, it is classified as gross misconduct. When your behavior falls below standard, the company policy, you are deemed to have breach behavior. There is process. There's a process in dealing with behavior at work, which is not a summary of dismissal. When you are engaged in gross misconduct, you are bound to be sacked. Nana Konkoni was I'm watching you from New York. God bless you.
Nana
only more because I'm sure the message that was direct to you. All right. Nana Konkoni yedase. Makoche was nobody is discussing what Ivan is saying, Ghana. Okay, conscious Agbenua was soon on my thumbs up. Mark Ocho say, I'm so surprised at these fake lawyers who were defending the Chief Justice never spoke about what she did. It is a shame. These lawyers who bought their law certificate from Makwala markets should be dismissed. Nelson S. Innocent is a box of knowledge and must be listened to every day. Mark is which was it saying? Which she is not supposed to do press conference when your case is being held by a committee. Okay, Mateo Brofana say, see, this lady abused her power so much that she did not even give a damn to Ghanaians. Steve Joe say, "Wamaye, good morning." Eda say, "Osaje for Kwame Nkrumah." Hey, offer dini na. See, Ivan is my man. Right on, bro. The sky is your lab mate. Andy Dossi or say Ivan more fire. Or say all watching you live. Hey, okay, we are watching you live from Tema site. Matimedasi. Yanko Akwetia.
Yeah, quick one. Who's when we can come me first,
Yeah.
I sure say Yapasia appointed justice to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
You them clear lay downs. So any misbehavior. And then your friends say incompetence, and I said certain mischief underneath, and I said beneath it. Why will the whole Chief Justice wake up a day after paying the paper at church ne nam fufodin? Somebody kwakoma president say onjina so no appointed a man for two the Supreme Court. For a Chief Justice to be able to sit down, conceive when she knows at the end of it's for her near matter. To do that, the what besides was the same person. I was to me with the president to have influence when it comes to appointment, transfer of judges, and so forth. Cook wouldn't do it me. And I wouldn't miss idea. No, because to me, transfer pen the paper when she knows the appointment of people to president through the Judicial Council consultation and so forth. No, but only to me transfer pen the paper bypassing.
Yes, bypassing Judicial Council bypassing will be another nepe.
Say to them no.
Oh,
now call we get here back. What you need that kwakoma president. That person should be deemed very dangerous and cannot be allowed to sit playing Chief Justice. Okay. So those of you making noise out there, maybe you don't understand it. A man for out to politics, that is what you know. Take a dive into the issues, the critical undertones, go through. Now go through the processes and the procedures. Now, catch the Ghana for say, more for lawyers, no mutisi krum as a fuan and as a for or none of them any bit activity any constitutional argument. Say, Yafumemra. Go for Sophia Akufo interview a long one over 15 minutes in for. She could not cite a single ground. The all kind of say issues no mujina so shouldn't have your friend saying MBT threshold. Constitutional threshold na ye cano. The competence of the petition. Sabaya, we insert it into the constitutional provision now, and then ye part. You have no right to your friend say Boadu. Give it to a appropriate committee of inquiry, committee and judges and lawyers can come on. And that they did a proper job. Unless Sophia Akufo is telling us, Ninuanum judges and all Supreme Court, or no more human and send or no retire, or one bone, and they were operating under a certain influence of malice, mischief, or partisan, your friends say, conveniences. Unless that is what she want to say. But you see, some of these things, I respect her, Obiara no opinion.
Yeah.
But opinion now, it's just like so to fear now, so and Kobe. Ya unim sa enko ba bia obi atene dem u kan de de besia sia nothing will change it.
Okay, enko akwatia na issues by any election results.
Yeah.
One or two, I think security the top notch.
Yeah.
Apart from say afenyo market ko white priest and kede ntokwa ba azoka ko kekanse hunu we.
Yes, I think say my memo IGP in the team abaso. As I dey women tanya baba and then I think that they deserve it because now no many KSM interview and I was telling him say election ya kosi for me the most consequential outcome enya hwan win it. Now kwan be no fast or win it. And for me I was much focused on the security aspect of it. And I think say the police came to the party. They did an excellent job. For the first time I acquired by elections, I anticipate you need that kind of way. So I think that it's a plus. Ghana Police Service need to do more. Yes, I understand. In the main election, won't win 5,000 police and for Monko. So I think they need to devise a certain security framework. And numbers, efficiency. Because election day we have 5,000 for Munko place. So be very efficient in this strike. So be free and fair elections. And the last time it say omo koye wa blukuma we na no. Ya convict omo at the 5,000 6,000 na to muti so. Initially me say bi hu ya me bufu ye because 5,000 6,000 nyesika ya dey too much o mind so. Omo ko di se
5,000 just got too much of my
only for us in a but ya boka 25,000 so. O slap no about 70,000 na your friends 100,000 na. Next time would be so nyansa. But you see I think the consolation is that something has been done. Maka say your friends say ayawa
so and the two kura be mu ma obi adane
committee report ni useless commission report your court achima ye ku nipa be sin main election. So if something has been done and there I think there is a consolation your call name and I'm urging President Mahama say on taking more stringent measures to ensure say electoral violence in Nasifo no ye nepe no not going forward and nothing happens. MPP in your party why not just so besua there. And my culture said they are still sitting on high horses. So election way, I made a prediction, say I'll put my bet on the NDC. Because there was no way the MPP was going to win this election. And it was quite obvious. Because say we are a party. Now what now buying for 8 good years. Now want to me and Yampun to Juma anya the papa to the stand say 8 years no no. Would the Mugwasi the Kofi? What the most humiliating defeat in our electoral history and the Kofi? Na say back I go to a constituency among to Abama when somebody is already president. It will take hell to convince people. Because NBC nyanya she ewo your friend saying akwatia kra na there is hope say omo ban the waso and aban you betimi convince na mana bibia mayen. So when you are going into a contest like this, you should know clearly say you have no chance. And again, party ni lose power no. Kwan be na ya fa so ya rebrand ye ho a ma Ghana for who say MPP foforo die and sesan ya ba nothing. We catch you say wo twi car na wo kote to gatam. Na say yi car no free gatam a unless we are bodani and abatam car no from gatam the Kosi station pare Kumasi obi obehu say wo ye sa de be hu say wo abodam because a car to gatam first one you take it to the mechanic, you wash it before you take it. MPP free gatam no ya tama base station say am for mefro. From the gutters now right to station because they have decided that they will not work on the party because there is this your friend say delusion of grandeur. Ocean psychiatry delusion of grandeur. They are sitting on the moon see, Adibia, you okay, mom? Oh, still, the party is okay. They don't need the party is in tatters. Because my country is losing election now. You try to do reorganization. That reorganization, you know, from the base, you try to connect. But when almost started a presidential election. Presidential election, and one seminar as for everybody the quarter at the ground, what failed to build a party. So party now, party Ben, what they call winning elections. When are they call conventional? Especially the current leadership of the party, you know, have demonstrated nothing but gross incompetence. They don't even know their left from their right. These are people whose innate understanding of politics, and they say, Yankasa bugu like Yankasa boom 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 boom. Utie Abrantie and Abin and Anomete say, or your interview, you say, NDC for by Yena, or by no, or one question, no, just a funny, nasty kind of way, no, or monam somewhere. Dr. Baumia Koho, the message in the say, Abrantie no Uyeno, a NDC for harassing no money wooye, and to Montobama MPP. And Mary, woman, Ukoyasa and Kora politics we are. Because NDC for harassing in what sense? You do be caught a harassment. And the Odrage Mahama in 2012 to court for almost 8 months and no harassment. And the Sankabito Mahama then and Conan the Kun and as a saying, Sir and Krasem way, it doesn't fly. You understand? Go there, tell the people this is my message. So if you waste all the time to talk about nonsense, trivialities, this your friends say advertising this your friends say bravado and people will not take you serious because they want development. And young people in this country are wide awakened and very enlightened. So we tell Musa Dankwan we know you know man for Ekasana. They say they want development. The 1990 Abrantie no you know and who am Montino and some who knows emotional we do need space in our politics. So yes, you're sympathizing with the family. Then as a forum, but Ghana must continue, development must continue. People might want to vote for somebody who bring them development. So go there, your chest out, tell people, convince them. Now, Fena, or mobile yena someone certain to your friend is saying, I brand to know who you know, and this is for the pressure and money who ya, and your friend is saying, yeah, the Tamale Santra, Mamo, most of them fuck with their politics at nay. You understand? So I'm saying, sir, the MPP is a lesson. They are not growing. And among for mature in politics, you know, they are rather retrogressing at a lightning speed. They are growing back. And these are people who are still stuck in 12th century thinking, say, Ghana, you know, only in 1990, no. Sa Ghana, you know. Oh, no, I wouldn't see a oh, men are not a son, oh, me papa, your son, Yade, Santa Foyer, and one of Foyer, Sansem, Hunu. That your friends are unreasonable party alliances, you know, that era is gone. Our man for are looking at the future. Or more head the bit be more how development beba. So who begin to harp on those things? Oh yeah, they say will not win you anything. So I think that they need to go back to the drawing board as a party. And unfortunately for them, they are not lucky. Because Council of Elders no be two party no for no me say omo ya nkora wo empanimfo. Because never mo de babon team bia no asa bia fa kwam. Council of Elders I wonder because Panyini bia no be make this decision. Yeah. What Panino and what we can frigatam or see Fanko station cover a month for because next week, yeah, Hesika. Can't station for 24 hours will be on for you. We are Paninians and when you know, so you need to build a party. So for me, I think that Niamano Moyano and Fakwemu and the last time I cut Council of Elders Ben Atina Krumha. What follow Ghana politics since 1992. Now who be the way Kennedy Japan Brian Champon mo behave kroma now but na vetting committee and maka say oh my passemo monko fa vetting monko president the council of elder anya akora adwene ne that team abaya de we kanokre council of elder behavior way our person will rebuild the party na utimi passing crofo we say o ma pass vetting when the name o ma ye no krom ha nyina uzumi ina ubisa say yes they may qualify. But party, no picture Ben I will paint it to people out there. Because in the first place, what lose connection, what lose integrity, people don't respect you. You are trying to rebrand yourself. When I will do a mobile, so bet me convince Obi or Yansani out there say, oh, Ivan, say the MPP a different MPP, so vote for them. These are some of the things that we see in some way they are very harsh, very tough. Obi and Kanchero.
Yeah.
But
no,
we will tell you in the face. You understand? So I think that because of money, you know, and the council of elders and as well, you know, compromise because no be have been in daily bread or call retirement or head or debate the well, that is what they are doing. So they are not thinking about the core party principle. Because the MPP that I know, they're not party in the The MPP that I know, no party a boss or party of intellectuals, party of this, party of this, party of this, and then your friends I'm ranting your money casa boom boom or radio TVC. And spy or more deviating. So they need to sit down, no maintenance where them because I can't just say what is about saying home. Now so we need baby a okwa, ubet me until 40 days. Unruda. Oh yes.
Innocent.
Yes. What is about saying we need baby a okwa? You can work for 40 days. Unru.
Oh God.
But we need baby a okwa. Even 30 minutes cry will be no, and also even 1 minute to cry no. We need baby a okwa. The MP omuni baby a okwa.
So I'm many names.
Oh. And I think that until some realize this. No matter na jin sama ye kan yatum. Kon sama mekan. Anya me kwan na mekan.
Yeah.
Nya hota makura babo ntin na no dem da bia saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Papa we kwame mpianim. O say onim direction party no ko. So these are not my words. Your fellow President Kufuor or say MPP no kwade onim de ekoso because they don't tell him anything. They don't involve him in anything. So a man 40 ho and omo take a decision and crowd decisions asabi. What na say dwene ho abisa say because now no you me no na any solo te say.
Yeah.
Omo say omo man for amnesty so omo mra ala no mra back. Yama obi a wadi bone o esa o punish no. And whether you committee or punishment into Sambra, the amount amnesty, Alan Bonnie Ben or yeah, and the amnesty by now with the man or no
party night a bonnet.
Into Obia or no, also I am a bonnet, why is it an honorable woman amnesty? So and Crania man or more, and I'm worried. Because you see, I don't want a situation where opposition party will be weakened.
Yeah.
Because Ghana it doesn't matter say NDC. So if Nipa does enjoy absolute power and say so we need to have a responsible opposition party. I am very constructive, very critical. You're first competent enough to also win election to form a government. And that is what the MPP need to reconstitute itself into. But baby o money na na media ya ana meka no omu nim baby o moko nti ombenanti ache oh omu chance dem pampaboa because ombenanti ache because they don't omu nyanhu say ya fan say omu na menwuram because o he party leadership from top general secretary kasa kura ntime kasa a party chairman ya say wayira ya fan say a youth organizer ba kasa boom 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 chese ndi hwan na betena say asamba amanfo behwe na ni wuti table no a o he nipa na ni watim say nipa we dey wani to na nim ye nyina asamba asem sifia na mo ka there is this one particular person sitting on the table a wani bo na nim a bia asem e shop bo wuntumi nka anya say bia usuro e ferry bi wom but e kodru ba bi na wotu nipa ni nyina na wunya sa na ema we nyina obia tend to behave the way thank you to no who dey kokosi here that is why they stop it. I must stop it. Eyanim guase akura o. They couldn't do a thank you to. And can you go to Akwatia and win an election? No. Because party na your machine now what they call no is in disarray. A bad shape. Until then what they call when na make catch say they attempt this psychological blackmail when they told NDC say oh yeah withdraw from your friends say Tamale Central withdraw from way encouragement way yeah the democracy encouragement way the politics because elections now work on you don't only go there to lose power go there and test the pulse and see your real bit to reorganize you are able to gauge your popularity level with some of these elections no one who say MPP now you call say crowd one for a giatum and as a name say enti enye ye nema ye na akokasa kwan amfa so mu wuye na adabonsu na menomo wuro mu wuye no sad but sad na happen obi oyare wuye na obi a oye ni nyina the same thing but you are operating on a constitutional line no you don't do these things nipa mu wuye nyina we all cried bebo Mahama and NDC omo aban bu kra no ensun kase no they are out there contesting now what in chan I am far hono was a word of woo no circumstance and this na the party no I won the nipa the woo no so contest equity I contest way one out in China far hono say I'm quoting them the circumstances and we are no inhuman intino. Are you serious as a political party? Obviously NDC boycott on boycott to Ejusono. It was very strategic and very tactical. Because Omo Kanchiro say election here close to national elections. Resources na is resources, not emotional.
Yeah.
So you can say they call a friend say Ejuswa. You seek a seven and for anti Sasika ya they can national wine no. Now they are going to national election. Here they are give more seats. Ashanti region would you have many seats? So strategically. Enti makata say am emotions in your politics.
All right.
One you so wadwene one you so nyansa. Na we tisi abonte say wo say wo kwa na woni mabi a wo kwa
40 days kwa na that's when na masase no so. Yeah, time na so but where they manage na for just 1 minute ka GF die no. Wetin say almost slashing over $700,000.
Bars for fuel.
Yeah.
Fuel for bars.
Yes.
Me say omo GFA has for long acted as some sort of a criminal cartel. Yem fire nim ko huntino a pure gold mine for some individuals. Because we have budget now. And your friends say me who way how do you call it sports minister.
Yeah.
And I think that he has done well.
Sure. By
slashing this thing by Kamea and can slash even more. Because I don't understand the coach if you $50,000 every month should be paid 20,000 bonus for what?
What are you doing?
And the woman or you know, ya confine so me eden or me to see and answer me painty cars. We you hire as a coach. And I'm saying how many people they take $50,000? Oh, so we are talking about a country called Northern region now near Manfo go through Kokumasi we are ketetia and Kramayua akrashe na chia also we in Yoruba 200 Ghana no di coffee. Mazo omudi team na chi no yesi am obia $8,000 for one match omoko chadaba one match 8,000 close to over 800 million for just a day teacher ni betena kurase a kira there for 40 years omeko na ade otimi to on life in a bicycle and no kura retirement ro pie
no tua nyeye
opie nyeye ne ba na betwi. These are the harsh realities. So the black stars have for long, been used as a cash cow by some people, but government over the years, they haven't been bold enough to take them by the balls. And I'm happy Kofi Adam has started this way. And for me, this is not enough. Okay. He has to go extra. Make sure say me footballers no mujina park is you no be any issue. Now for football management committee members sabi, ball no mumobi. But me I don't even need to follow them.
Yeah.
But we are paying them $10,000 for what? We are demonstrating that Sikanu go him the other day. So why are they say what me slash over about 1 million a free so? Now I think that young go back to the past. World Cup qualify be a yabobia. Obia or your management member you try to cut 10,000 mazo man 8,000. These people the young just as Sikanu and some prosecutor among camp because for. We cannot continue to be entertaining this nonsense where people hide behind the black star. Football now here can look at House of Hope. Look at Kotoko, Nina Ogu, and this our team is in a dime baller team, and Nina because of Ghana football. Because attention Nina is on the black star because I don't know Musika. Now we are mine out to know who said, or mine football be a house at Biana Kotoko, or mine a ye. Now he pay everything on the black stars and Yansa be the whole team. I think we need to drive the focus back to our team. The teams near here. Automatically we get a national team. And you're not football Duana, you're Ghana, Nibu or Belgium, you're going to tournament, World Cup now Brazil Corner. Do you know why they go to World Cup? They go to World Cup to advertise to the world, say, so about Brazil, football, and a year, natural. There are thousands of talent, so you only take few to go to the world stage to advertise talent so that people will come. And Spain for Brazil top player 100 million. UK for top player $50 million. Because they've done advertisement over the years. That is what we are supposed to use the national team to do. But Oba has Atitiagu, has Yagu, Kotokwagu, teams in Inagu. And if you go to tournament, you have advertising. Player na your own Germany na me walk up on the child advertise. We are jokers. We don't even know what we are doing. So for me, the Black Stars, I think government have to be very extra harsh on them and make sure say yes, we can pay the players, but these jokers and criminals who are circling around the club making money, we need to begin prosecuting all of them because most of them are criminals.
Thank you. Mame Sophia Akufo, former Chief Justice, Awanwa Esaya Council of State member, Nesama Oka Edia for Chief Justice, Getru Torkorno, Emra, Akwetiano, Onwebu Mrebiso, na Yasatu Committee, Ama Committee, no, I recommend say, was set ye free ne Juma so, or my penny at the recommendation, no, aye Juma, and some would want. Mame Sophia Akufo eka the alpha process na course no so pa amanko for shall see bisa questions say edienti ena dada fe na mami nyani abra asem no aso opese o mane yese obi the personal issue bi ena edi mame na na say Gertrude Torkorno eyi ni free ho enti eye enkoma hodo a ekoso anope ye behwe ne ye bedi a ye ne aloyafo a wo mo enimu mra no ebedi eho enkomo se why now na de all kanumpo if it is nothing to go by ya say ena wo se emra no ekirem because you no person o kire ne say ebe weekend judicial system no ena afen so no ono de obom pa say ma judge bia na say obi a wa temu adwuma no no emfa sa process ni mu does it mean say Mame Sophia Akufo opeso o che say emra na eda ho a article 146 no nia ekasama eni se Chief Justice bi ye na oya eno na ebetimi agina so apam no sa mra no onim eno opeso o hyeda ka say enkanya hwe yamane ntwamu nko ana ni nyina so ene sen eno eye asamba akwa anopei ye bedi eho enkomo na lawyer ba ahoma no so ana ye twen se lawyer PJ beba ahoma no so na ye ne no edisa enkomo no do a constitutional lawyer na timi aboaye but quick one wait 2 minutes pe na mo hwa na mensanka lawyer ne yento asa enkomo no so enura mi hu say Ghana registered nurses eko honorable kwabnaminta Akando ho ene ni kodi nkomo omu wie ye no mo pa na chew na odipa okoso trouble na oka group ni hu bi eye Dr. Tenkran many problem with say obakwa akopa honorable kwabnaminta Akando chew because we are say ayete na si yesi obakwasea ono no won sisa na dwen enti Tenkran hu say se ni osi didi honorable kwabnaminta Akando atem no sabe wanfa adwen ato ho no the emotions any said the political eye didi ni tim what yes I did into Wamaquapacho news and some coso ye our health sector hono Wamaquapacho because of idea see ya nanka ye bet me for crime papa swakam no problem nankasa delay in medical care and negligence na hono ya see ya be sort our problem out obujai sa sam ne to ho no the personal issues and the kwadi honorable Minta Akando atem no me danyamia say Omo akasa hu say o ma anye ni ye na me pese me bi so honorable kwabnaminta Akando say honorable anope me sra me Dr. Tenkran ni Ghana registered nurses so abepa cause ahaya na nurse ni ba ko anti Sarah ebeka say wo no dia wo musa wa na video a che so painful gina ho rafo de ne sakwa bo na sum a che sa me so collapse ye kra tehwe ye ba che say omo wo sa video no or the same video number and now say because as a report no mudi ba wie ne yanti hwibiamo ena minimum nkoma akoso enu nti wo ma ba be pa wo chew enti wo ma be pa chew se ja asem no maninka and now say e was here Ghana for ye hu because enti bi ma se da bia asembesi na petre exam na asem no akwa that we move on then problem no will still be there. Ana mesra me bisa honorable Minta Akando wo bisa Dr. Tenkran ma yen say asem no akafa journalist fo ho no what because me nyini ni asem no ka ye no yase de obusu wa akomam e na pia no enti Dr. Tenkran ade na abusu wa na akomam bone a wonya wo bedi yen sam kyerofo no e da so wa na akomam o ena oka ye no e da so tete nesisifo bia omo so adwen ya wo mo say ade Tenkran ye no omo supporting nti no e da so wo makomam tie bia no omo hu ye ya ne ye hu aye omo hi enti sa asem no oka ye no enya asem a wase ye ma ne koda keke o step wa pa chew nti we should forget about it enya as simple as it is Because as a Ghana, you didn't ever be the agro, but come off funny worddy, yes, so I call patcho, now some of your trouble now call. Now, as some Casano kind to say, and some training because hospital no cocoa. Now your ref is a daughter, 10 choir can be at all. What call patcho into your rebel fee, be an answer, Jane, what the Timuno, and no, my implement I better. Ya beden ye hu enti ye say ye gidie ene ye assurance kra ewo health sector ni mu no tenkwanya sam oka ye nti no se wo ye obi a wo dwen wo nkwa ho a wo besuro because oye agina wo ni tiri nye media mania because ade no oka ye no na no obi be kan samfu bi se se misuro ebia na anyame o ebia na wunua bi no yensem kyerɛ ne ɔno so ti ba bi asam ne ba yɛ ɔka bi no ebia na yɛ ɔno aba bi meme hu yɛ wahinti wo tenche ka kyerɛ me sɛ oh asam atenkra ka yɛ no misuro nti na me ka sa really sa me kwa ne sem kyerɛ ne asam ne ba yɛ me ka bi ana the answer is no enti other people na mo ka bi na wo mo so wo eto katenkra incite nurses no against us no me ba cho ubusu ani betimi aka ho what fancy be betimi aka ho tisa wo se wo ma politics free wani so na asam no ka ya no yen find solution to it e betimi aye wan kasa mu ya bo pa ne abone na wawu hwe ewiase ayete no ade ba ko wo se yete ye ho ase ne sem wo next step a wo betu kra no wonim de besi eye nyankopon penenim ebi kra tenkra na nani abre na o kasa ye ye bo mbe ho ye pa ne abone akuye no ebi kra no ayare agame what you say? Eye onyame pe na di nipanam. Ye wiase ayenam nyina no enyame pe na di nipanam. Na mmom se ye your manya ye serious a. Comment fu bi tisa no obi ma awase ye twi nipa da so na ote ne wanse say profession na wakwa akofa no obia for so no. Obia nhye ne say nursing school. Meti waya menim se meni akokodura yare hwe yarefo no mankofa da sen for manko nursing training amfa me pressure eni mabufuo anko ankotena hospital say patient bi ba na ekwo na me di nipa no me de me pressure kogu ne so ansa no bi be ba hospital no na nipa no o yare a ne ho kire no o tinya woni nipa duam a wo hia say obi be attend to him or her enti hospital enya shopping mall hospital and your shopping mall. Well, what's enemy crano on Tinasen wishes or sorry, uncle that hospital say or yare. What time for would him say or time will crano on wishes say on Yaran Quada Hospital. It's honorable Cabram in Akando, Mr. Sasab no my young wenny. Enti Quadakake. Na yati so biaka samwa Ghana hanu afani wedi no akwakwada na asem na ebisi wachira ne enden saa na kede de Japan kwaka se mo hu amesuela mo no metuaka yati ye na amesuela ne akuno Ghana ya de bibia di agro biaka asema no afani wedi na Ghana di assemble jai 3 days 1 week assemble to betwa ampa enti boni a ekoso wakrom ha no eyen sama akrofo di nkomo. But because say on mine no ya pagrodo ya niema bia ya Ghana de sa Ghana de sa ni agya sa na bi pe wu na enkofo akọ situation a eyo obi no watena baabi e manipulate system. That is what I want to say about Enra Chopana Ghana registered nurses honorable Meta Akando Hokopa Chono. Number 1, video na Mama Sarah Becca say or more evidence for frono me pacho honorable Meta Akando Moba no de bayana so ma farmer. And what in Kwamaben a course of Fedie, Wama Casa who say or mudi watemuno woman for Buoni and Diam Mount, no Moba Power Chow. Na panyimu say na mutimi hwanya mianim eto tomani re edi minister of state atem ade chia no akwakotena nanim samo panacho eno na me hwete nkra na wode nani ato wiam gina minister nchen twa photo ah one said you did nani ahwa wiam TV no so no ode ne ti ahwa wiam na wo twa photo na kuma musum achopa no kwa na free na kuma mo men na be catch us free na kumam e bi o man kasa wo sa ade na mo ye no e we dey akose more harm than good enti wo dey say be ya Ghana for be jai kasa enti no enya remo me yenko patch na Ghana for wo say ya patch wo she ye health sector na da ho no enya dia eye joke Now when you honorable Kwabena Minta Akando, I was sorry I went in hospital to hospital. I was just say health sector no be fun into my pefra. Now when you team crying so no jina torchlight, jina friends and also to Boaba Park and also. Now was some young funny normal. Wow, when your baby also go jina say you honorable Akando and chain. Ajumbonia what it's in what you are minister in chain. Mensa chapa we amediko ye enyame hwe enka me coat na aka me shirt da bia me ka cho se be me wonanfofo bebre e wo nuane mo so ya nurse fo obia ni wo time nurse ni the last time bia nurse fo koye picketing e wo Ministry of Health say yem postu wo mo ye gigira mu kan ya say adan na wo so bi ko nursing training no be wie school no be jai dependence fie 3 years 4 years no beba field no kwase na ni refinance skills. Enya no kwampo nurse to patient ratio no kwa no ye meeting ye enti adan no be ko nursing training awie no otifie ni ye mfa nipa na adwuma ya kasa nsem wa nyina awie na wotin kra wasa ba gina ho e de yato tankuru wa mu say wonti asese wodidi minister atam ye ka cho say wo ye panyin kasa saa na wo ka kire nurse ne say because say ya ka cho say panyin kasa saa no ye ba wo ho ye panya boni nku yen. Now I say nya energy. Akwa minister Kyei say wa be pacho. Enti assembly show with trim na odi atoto nkrofo trim no. Enti me pacho me sire me bisa wo. Why year from trim? Anasa say Ghana ya de niam di agwa wonim say wa ya brochira. Enka ya yi na free sector ni mu kwa say ne ya be pa be fofo de na koto a then it will serve say asem no kan ye no. Wontimi ntrete nti bemofo. The last time no make it come again chiraf ayi abejon for ade ache 3 days time na friend of Niabre and what Dr. Tim Klein said why GJ afena ade ache mo ya ka ya asem sufre jefo no na GJ ete ho sika kasi akwa gia dia wie in the name of publicity na promoting media hwan workshop ahodo wa mo ji ho sika so wa mo kwa akoye ni nyina yete na GJ atena kro ma tem kro ya ka asem wo ya fa ni hwadi etena ase di hu na awotweda asa na moba out eno kra no ha ya na metena na meka say GJ mu ye bogus institution 3 days some issue statements enti ye say tem kro asem no kan yama ne nkwada meboa yama ne nkwada na some shoni bi kwa hospital no wu a ye be den wo say ye jani wu ana ye tem kro asem o kan na ama obi awo ne pane abo ne yaku no ye be den ye hu me say asem bi asi a ye twa asem ne fa bi ne de aka be kwa ka de Japan ka bi o ye hu de asi yo me na me ka say wono na kwa so ameso le wuo na mmom asem no ka ye no bia no na influence obi ma obi so kotu anamo obi ekobo ye nuaba ma ne tuo ku no ya o ka asam no wa Madina wa so ne ku amen swale mo bia nyina ba bi nka say obi ya politics o this is life and death matter obi a onu gina saa emfinfin ho no enkwane owuo ni o gina mfinfin ho obetimi obetimi akwa owuom no waka cho se obeba ba to me ho me pa cho o asama tenkwa kan ye no ene dia mo ka se azoka ka wo eyi akwati anu difference bi animo difference bi anim eno ana me eno a time no kwatia mentia na ka me ka checha ma azoka se ya wade nyina wo kwa na so nya bibia na fata ye obetimi a show or catch powers, but there are certain statements you don't make it at all. Adia no ba fa nyoma ken ye no etia mra sentokwa bi si wo constituency ho no ma enko no ne koso ye but enisa wo so wodi wanu ko bom say me beto ne ha anka by election besi by election no na say wo bu na kuna na say wo ye ne den oh politics na ye mo eya na minim sanya modwen o na nipa na na wie sam dia me wa ahoden e bia me wo boys bia me do magu ba bi to de e dia ja boys so ye hunu amane o ye boys mo hunu amane o ni atutu asam ani abefa mo sam mo nkoye because me sure say as o ka asem o ka ye no menyi ni so anu mom na nka beto ne nsa se wo bo ayi afanyom aken ebi o the boys na be ye enti ya wade nyina wo kwanye ni nyina na fata ye asem azo kaka ya ene obi e condemn no the same thing atenkranya ka na wanya nwa kwagina mi nta kwanda nchen se wa be pachew enti ye nyan ma ne nkoda nti say journalist bi kwa hospital no wu a yanyi ntum say ewu French man na say ye betimi ahodu temporary responsible Ghana pa de nti daben ye benyini daben ye be ma system sa ye adwuma kakra. I'm not against temporary adwuma oye but say adwuma oye na adwen papa ni timu a mentimi metena ha hemache bia ne entemeta semfa kotua temporary ka no asan sori a wasanya adwembone say esan se waya ade a yaka na asem ti no o keka kira nurse for say mu hu sensem kiro ni bi o ka asem ni bibia ba mu wa ne pane bone na munku no eti wunim se ade a temporary aye no o de nurse for crowd to tight corner wa mammo se adwuma na mo ye no trust a wasanka Ghana fo nya no trust na free ho and you need to build that trust back. And they said na Ghana for GDI ayira wo judiciary ni mu no papa difference bi anim na no obi be catch am say ya me dey say government hospital crowd dey me nko biem ada na wasa ye do sa stage no because of any pam yenu mi ensape o enye nurse ni nyina o nye nurse ni nyina o nipa 2 3 Mama Sarah ya okwa granting interview with GH1 say and we have a video that Ralph slapped a pregnant woman. Say I know you. We have a video that Ralph slapped a pregnant woman. We have that video. Say what me say give me the video but send the video no for my. Not take cross with your torchlight. Now the president na ni kuno ya but ya no NPP chairman. Ono so gina fa. Tinipa 3. Na omo keka nurses ade no omo keka tire ni bom sa e ma krofo di nurse fo atem nipa trepe womo nsem omo ka ye no e na ma ne krofo nya adwenfo frafa nurse fo ho odo say ye nim say system ne nye we all know but say as a Ghana fo nya adwenfo fro bia fa nurse fo ho kane no no obi aka ne haw e na me call hospital na ye say na me call hospital ne ye ma me aduru a na nya adu papa e na me call hospital na no me chance on Mame Dokono Mame Grace on mabo ni video bi a na ye wache ayie a Mame Dokono narrate kwan a wache fa so wuye it was terrible say ye de wache kwakwalebo ye se no bed and ye de ne call rage ye se no bed omode ne ba 37 ye se no bed enu mu no ena mo se obi rewra mu a ye se papa bi ye fra no sei on ewra mu an no kwa no ye se papa bi oda 37 ho eno so ono wada wa che kakra ne ho aye den se ye wa che dia obesore no de ne bed ya ma no eno ono sore ye ne de wa che beto bed no so no wada ka mu 4 hours obi o yare a eye emergency no wada ka mu 4 good hours ni ade na chia dia yawom ade ba ko yawom wa Ghana ha ene sa wode hye yare na wa ni tua se nka ye betimi asave no nanso system failure na nipa na wu wa che kwada hospital according to Mame Dokono o se na yire mpo ka kire nurses ne so anadwo no omoma ne na obekwa nipa no wanya stroke ne fa adwojo ade bi obeye bi ade obi boa no ya nyina so ye nim se kuro ma nurse fo baako na omo wote ma omutimi ye sa na ma no tan baako no mo da so o se da bi ya ma na ha kofie omo kofie no omo sori anopo omo baaye no na wutimu se anadwo no se wache opriyo se den ne na yakwahye bed yase wate ato ama ne na yakwahye bed yase wo we se de Mame Dokono na reti asem na emobo and you could see pain in the heart of the woman. This is what we are talking about. We cannot just allow it slide. Enti Ghana had ye ni man so obi kan sema no wafa ne hwadi obi kan sema no wafa ne hwadi adai. All right, wakopa chow. Let's see how it goes. Ye de ye juma ye ne de ye bekoso aye. Na sese fo asemba no ye ntua mo ka ye no mo post wo mo aye besen aka. Because the last time na me ka say media yen pe ene ye wo problem a obi nka bi ma yen ye kra ye ntimi kwaka ye problem nchiro bia police for crime po security agencies fire service for ne ye can say prisons ni wo mo amaka mo ye security agencies kra no ye ho mo do mo problems sende yen say yen ka mo ye ka nurses ekoye picketing ye post wo mo ye say ye beka ekosi se aban ne be ye de waso mo ye media house ana say journalist ban ene wan hu say obi ka na asemama no Sam chiro for wine and your kaya semaye. Yen so na mo tan ye kese. Because asembia ba yen ye ka. Obi tan journalist keke onya ni hwio. Asama all kanti ni ho ye na hi. Ya me ye nyina aboafo. Now, Mami Sophia Akufo. Matiano from time committee ne report ne ba ya besi enra. Na me raho na me bisa me ho say enti o man a yetimu yi yen ya ye yafo yen ya ye ni nipa bia wa aban mu yen ya ye ni busuani bia o sika se yasam kokoto a wan na beka bia mai Mami Sophia Akufo onimade pa Uhebe be a rise ya Kutimi Chief Justice, a member of the Council of States, Onimade, a Mran 1992 Constitution at Dahono, Menya sure say article back who credit onimina. Na Obuani and Idia me woman in tea, and I'm a tomebo. But Adiana Yama me wo yeno. O kum ye mubinum sunsum because. Wo yama ya gie di say ye nipa suma si dia eni kwan se mredi no na ye nipa suma si dia e wose mredi no adenti na wose basa because judges are ye no mo krom ha no to me a 1992 constitution ne dia mamo no mo capacity a mutimi bua obi kura kumfo emiye koku no mo capacity a mutimi do obi tum for life. More capacity a mutimi do obi atum 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 40 years. Number of years a mo pano mo chama obi according to the law. Because yes, the law no is in your bosom. Edamo kukum. Enti mo use mo discretion ka ho a na mo de mra na ye adwuma. Mo akro na masam yate ase say ignorance of the law is not an excuse. Say 1992 constitution na da ho no. Emra ne se A B C D. Me Yaa Titi minim sa amra no. Men kan da minim de ka. Me from sa amra na enye excuse mami o. Me ntimi kwagina kwato dem nka nkyere papa judge ne maame judge say me sro sa amra we de na minim se ewo ho. Enu ntimpo na obi kwotokro no de a. Yetimi chi nipa ne ka ho so ya accomplice. Because emra no ekasa mu nyina mo ya akronfo na kanya sa metim baabi no obi beto mobile phone ma me na sa mobile phone no eye krono de a se me de me hu o but so far as amato sa de na eye krono de no emra ne se me so me ye kronfo de bi sa na emra ne ka o eye simple and the ignorance of the law is not an excuse me be se me bisa ma me Sophia Akufo say enema miensa a committee ni gina so a wodi edi e wodi tu sa na mo no mesro emra na sa na e ka na se enye sa na mra ne ka de di kan eye sa sika na oje ye di twa plane ticket e man ono ne ho e twa bi man ne kunu e twa bi man ne ba wa mana so ha osanje pediem e de man ne ho de bi man ne kunu de bi man ne ma emra no say chief justice e ko private tripper e was so man no yan ne yebo ne ho kasa ntua pediem koma na na omukọ mo private trip holidays no omukọ di ye na omukọ chele ye kwaji omani no adwuma be no mo ye ma Ghana enu nti e wasa yen ye di esika etua pedi e mani kunu ene ne ba. Who does that? The law is clear, of which Mami Sophia Akufo you know. The law is clear. And where are you coming from? Yet Ghana he say ya de mrabi ko Supreme Court. Send about your first ladies are one more chrome, how you bet you ka ye do mo kwa article 71 ho na Ghana from Refiana Akufo Addo time now ye de Rebecca Akufo Addo my beautiful Rebecca any eja Samira Bawumia ni aduomudi ekose yen classify wamo as article 71 holders ni entua wamo ka ekwa ya no mo judges no na mo rule ya say ya to aba mo kununom a classify wamo as article 71 holders ya to aba mo yerenom. That is the law. And as asam no kwadae and no kwa ba yan kwa faso sasadia and na yan create space bi ma first lady for na yan hwe kwa ba faso a ye be support wo mo na atuatu amaka ne ade sa ankomo no ye di ya esansa na law no en support saade no anya na ntuo anyina so Mama Sophia Akufo, you were here. The atoso biema get Mama get to Torkorno ya dia pamono no aya interference in the administration our judicial system num emrade ya clear say we are chief justice now supreme court judges no wo pe bia ba be ka ho a e bia betimi aba president amane oh president judges na mo bench no so wo musa enti buamina yi bi mame emrade sesa ya ne de sa na emrade ka o enti aya president no na emrade ma ne ho kwan to nominate supreme court judges no mo do ma check council of state no amako parliament akọ committee so ami akọ toto wo ma no appointment committee wie no amo gitumu a ansana judges no akoyo omadwuma with supreme court as panel judges enti samra we ye pefei eye den na ma me get Torkorno otimidi ni tumi nominate supreme court judges amra ema ne ho kwan Mama Sophia Akufo we eye mra na na se eye obi ene tan no ena mesro transfers na no ye no by heart because e bia na nipa so masi otikesi bi so mani nye ho otikesi we so mani nye ho otam na no de na akoto ba bi otam na no de na akoto bi sa administrative breaches na oye no mesro Mama Sophia Akufo, what does the law say? Well, say unya nimdefo ma bo breadroom level bi na asem bi ba na mra ne ye clear na nipa no peso aye say ka yemfa mra ne nto nchen na ka yanya den because we process here ko mo nyina obie ni wo betime de ne sense ne bo say eye personal issue bi na mama me get to Torkorno ya pam no eyo no ne misbehavior breaches are oye editia constitution na wono akasa de ye adwuma oba ho ban no e the same constitution no e no kwoti aye niema na get to Torkorno ye no menya sure say na onim se etia mra onim se etia mra but sometimes no me gidi say na owo achitai bi wa chidom bi a wonim se metimi aye dia me pa bia na me wo bambo eni pa wa de sa de ni di wo mo no omo nya politicians so Daniel Ofori no onye politician ekwanya ode Daniel Ofori ne fa so otworo ho petition e de koye no onye NPP no onye NDC oya Ghana ni otini ba bi oye na dwuma osusu say emra no ene na ni ye Sophia Akufo e bia na minim I don't want to say petition mu nsem no wan kan ana de emra no ka editia enyem oye ye no wan kan wo kan ye sa wo yesa na wama obuo ni ani dia ye de mampanyufo amadru sa level no na sabo ma obuo na ba fam kakra enti meme Yaa Titi de ya ne me wo court a judge wa ho kwan so obe sentence me Ghana ni bia oya sa word na mo yusuma ye no ordinary Ghanaian ba me se menye sa word ni ntum menye ordinary Ghanaian me ye citizen of the Republic of Ghana. We are Ghana ni awoso wonya ordinary Ghanaian. We are citizen of the Republic of Ghana. Enti ye citizens na ye wo kuro ni mu no. Ye de yan court a. Esan say ye busuani bi anya judge. Ye busuani bi anya lawyer nti. Yen de e wasa mra no ene yen di. Gratu Torkorno de oye judge nti so bu mra sum pa. Mama Sophia Akufo say enka oye judge nti ye nyan ma ne nka no onto na dwuma so. Hey Mame, moya dia mane ye ya wo krom ha o. Moya dia mane ye ya. eti Ghana for ye do am court da bia ye do am koba da bia na ye jelly binom ye fine binom ye say eniema ye de ye nkrofo wo court no ye de 1992 constitution kro ya na edi san nkrofo no eno de Mama Sophia Akufo say e normal. The law is the law. But e ka wo mu nipa bi dia. There be na Mama Sophia Akufo unti kroma na de danko Akufo do opam judge bia. Ye de petition ba ne ho. Ye investigations no ampa na asem no de ho fo. Oya judge wo kroma na de danko Akufo do oyi na di. Me ba cho sa judge no ono de emra na mmone ho ban bia na. What is so special about Getu Tokunu? I be ni sa judge no ho. Ah sa judge ni de yetimi yinadi. Ba Getu Tokunu de yinadi enye ye. Mama mo browa fo mo wo kuro ni mu no. Da bia yawde ne kosoro. Na mo ahwe ya ho. Hu sa wo. Eno na ma yare ani adu bobom no. Because eniema mo de ye kroma fo no emu oyadodo emra nani ye clear da ho nanso nipa ne politically affiliated wo ye panyin or ye judge onim obi wo abamu eni ti sa nipa no emra eni ni Ghana hankoa na yetimi ma politics ewura ye mram ama ye nimsam ade wei eye green pa nanso political ayinti ye red. Kwakwanya gofredame e de ato force mo fa so okurum ha me ye sure say gofredame onimu mra ne pa o politics nti ye twena sre ye twena basa ye twena sre ye twena basa da bia me de ya meka ne say anya hwe kurampo no yewra abuga pele President Mahama hu say ade na wa ye na tia mra de ne court wa ye jeli no wan kwa kan kire court say me na me appointed no anase bi o ye me party ni me na me man is opposition no me ye president enti munyai no President Mahama mpo na initiative say omo investigate abuga pele ne wo ne nkrofo wo mo investigate wo mo hu say wo mo bumra so no ye jeli wo mo e makroma nyina ye hu say wo mo de koda jail enti politics no ye de rewra mu ama eye nipa so be se dia oh munya no eye kwadwo mensa dia oh emra no the law is the law ye mu mansa Mama Sophia Akufo ye mbu mansa wo create picture bit so obi tan Getu Tokunu obi antan no men penti sa picture no ento nkrofo tirim men penti sa picture no enko international world say ade na asie no na electoral commissioner Charlotte say Mama Sophia Akufo na wo kroma yawo ene ye pam no me ba cho ono so ekwan ya fa so aye pam chief justice no the same procedure wo ene de pam electoral commission kwan ya fa so pam CJ no the same process ene ye fa so pam electoral commissioner ba wo tina krom ha e ma mra no ya adwuma e ma chese no krampo ane yanim say politically motivated no and na wo say adan na nkasa ade ne yen kofa auditors no na yem bisa wo mukosa mesre wo Charlotte said ye no na procurement breaches say eno so nka procurement officer wo ho adan ne yanko pam procurement officer ne pam Charlotte say sa na wo say yenko no a ye betimi ama wo history NCC maame bia ne ho ba asem a President Mahama ene Atamos wo ma na bo maame ni ya na me refi maame ni din ya de petition ko fa ne ho ewe ni nsem a mu so odi fo no ewom sa President Mahama ene NDC apenso no mo appoint no mo pam no sa ankrofo no de emra no enye mra ho ba Getu Tokunu a special human being e chen Ghana fo a yaka nyina etu no de enu kwanse nke ye ne sa Mama Sophia Akufo mo fa phone line to TV no so Mama Sophia Akufo yes with all due respect san komo we ebe ya akajadi na wo yesa o ma ebuo ne ani die ne fere a ye wo mamo no mo hwe aso e ma ye gidi a ye wo mra nu mu no eso te dia wo ye wo be ma Ghana ni bi kura kokoto a onfa ani je nko because it go to a point a na Ghana for ye ni gidi wo judicial system nim and I know say you know why would them say you do point be a na Ghana happen and asem ko Supreme Court wa yetimi tena TV ni radio so predict ruling e beba ampa be ko na no ha atumudi unanimous FC ka e bi si dawo say Supreme Court judges. Now TV ni radio so microphone do mo phone. Oh wait, unanimous FC. Unanimously we dismiss, unanimously we do this, unanimously just say adie bia na be court bia Ghana for to meet na wo mo fie social media so e predict na so kane no na nte saa. Obi court one yem hihye because onim the outcome. Because onim say me ya NDC ni ana me ya NPP ni nti asem na betimi akwati no bia ni sa adwen no but it go to a point so obi ya NDC ni no court onim outcome of the case obi ya NPP ni no court obi atena nche ya onim outcome of the case ye then ye say judiciary no edu sa level no mo anka hwe. Please at least spare us some kind of respect as a country. Osuma wasom Ghana no ye bu pa me fere maame no na ni nim die kura no me bu no nti ase the one ka me pesa me ka asem no mato me bo me bu no pa maame Sophia Akufo, please cease fire and kasabiem na time a process ne koso no one ka hwe outcome ne ba wie no afa na wo grant interviews aden